Oh, God. Yo, look, I got a big box. Oh, God, that's heavy. Who said wearing skirts on the internet wouldn't get you places? Prove the haters wrong. Hello everyone, my name is Kier Creates, once again experiencing FOMO because all my friends are at New York Comic Con and I'm not, so yeah, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep again tonight. And today I got a very exciting video for you guys because as you saw there in my hands and as you saw in the title, I have a new printer. I've never done a printer review before because I just kind of treat printers as like tools to get me to the place I want to go, like making an Iron Man suit. And while buying these machines, I didn't really feel I was the type of person to like really review a full-on machine. But I have my own ways of doing things and I figured might as well do it. And now I have a Prusa. So I went to 3D Printopia a few weeks ago and it was super cool. I got to see like all the latest and greatest of like the 3D print technologies that were out. If you have one of those events near you, like 3D Printopia, go to one of these 3D printing events. They're so cool. So 3D Printopia was in Bel Air and one of the sponsors for that show, and they had their own booth there, was Prusa. And I've wanted a Prusa printer for a very long time. Like I think we're talking years now. But I talked to the guys at Prusa at the booth and they were super passionate about what they did. They seemed genuinely interested in what I did, which doesn't happen too often in the real world, to be honest. I'm gonna be going over some pretty unique points I haven't really like seen anyone talk about so far, like how practical it is for like small spaces, like a small apartment or a small house, because I don't have too much room in my house. I'm pretty much out of room. And is this printer a contender for being one of the best printers for all-around cosplay? I've been speaking long enough. I want to unbox this thing finally because as soon as I got home from work, I saw it on my doorstep. I'm like, oh, that's a big box. I didn't expect. I knew it was gonna be that. I knew it was gonna be big because I saw the printer in person at 3D Printopia. But like, it's a big heavy box. Let's actually unbox this. I'm getting antsy. And welcome to my floor. Yeah, I just threw some stuff on here before I unbox it just because I think it's cool. My friend Ryder CGA, when he visited me when he was on his way to New York Comic Con, gave me this Iron Man free art book, and this is like one of the coolest things I've ever gotten. Like, I got like, let's see, Extremis Soldier designs, the Mark 42 just laying there. Is that? Yeah, just a lot of cool early concept art. Oh, my beloved. And just like, you got the whole Iron Legion here and like all their designs. Like, this thing is just so freaking cool. And yeah, wait a minute. Golchi, what are you doing here? Nah, I told you to get out of here. But yeah, let's actually cut this guy open. What? Okay, I didn't expect that. Let's see, we got like a 3D printing handbook in here. I guess it has like a bunch of like instructions for the printer, like whatever, and like just tips. And it's also got a bunch of really cool stickers in here. Okay, we got a paper here saying thank you for your purchase. Speaking of which, yes, Prusa sent me this printer for free. I did not sign any contracts, so that allows me to be fully honest. So I guess they tested the printer before they shipped it, and they have like a whole bunch of testing protocols here, which is neat. So it's a PEI sheet. It's pretty neat. Yeah, there's my hand. I don't have too big of hands. All right, got your anti-vibration feet here. And they also gave me a full pamphlet of like all of their filaments and stuff like that, like all their different colors, filament types and stuff, and just like different prints that they've done with them. So that's pretty cool too. A very streamlined looking USB drive. I'd never seen a core USB drive in my hand before. And then they have like a little cutout here, and that has a roll of filament. So they sent me some of their Prusa PLA and what is it, Galaxy Black. It's got some instructions on here on how to take this stuff out that I'm gonna definitely totally not ignore.
And before you roast me in the comments, my excuse is I was very tired because this box is actually designed very well for you to pull the printer straight out of it. I just didn't do it the correct way. Shut up.
Yeah, that's heavier than my depression. All right, so I'm gonna just slowly tip it up here. Let's change angles for a second. Let's go ahead and slide her out. Here we go. There we go. We got it out. Let's go. Yay, Prusa. All right, there it is out of the box. Guess the screen goes here and I have it upside down, but that's okay. Let's flip this frown upside down. And here's what the assembled unit looks like out of the box. Now we don't have the screen attached here yet. Got all this plastic covering on it, so that's cool. And we got a box on the side here, which I'm assuming has all the stuff in it. There we go. Aha, get that open. But now that we got it out of the box, I'm just gonna go over what was in the side box that was like right on the spool holder. We got some tools included to like help work on the printer or assemble it. And in this bag, we got some isopropyl alcohol wipes to clean some stuff, some black rivets. I think they're rivets because there's a ton of them all over the printer. And some lube. How did they know what I was going to print with this? And of course, the LCD screen. They know that 3D printing's hard work, so time to dig in.
Alright, Future Kira here, like 2 or 3 weeks after the unboxing. So I've been beating up the printer pretty decently. I got a lot of prints off it so far, and a lot has happened in those 2 or 3 weeks. So most notably, Prusa has announced a bigger version of the Core 1 called the Core 1L. Now sales start November, and I really want to get my hands on this machine because without spoiling too much, I do have some complaints about it, but the Core 1L seems to basically take all those complaints and be like, all right, let's throw all that in this printer. And if you want Prusa to send that printer out to me to make a review on and using content, it would be greatly appreciated if you help run the numbers up. Maybe share this video to anyone who's into 3D printing for cosplay, 3D print farms, or just enjoys 3D printing in general. Please just leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and share with your friends. Like, it would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you want to support me in general, I'll make this quick. Gamer Supps. I've been using this at work to keep myself awake, and it's definitely been a lot better than coffee and has a lot more vitamins in it than coffee does as well as not having the acidity. It's been helping me with editing, filming, whatever. So use code KiraCreates at gamersupps.gg, which is down below in the description. So let's quickly go over some of the prints I've gotten off of this printer before we start talking about the spec sheets, the prices, if I recommend it, if I don't recommend it, whatever. So starting off with the stock files Prusa includes with the printer, as well as with their Prusa that they include with this printer as well. This armored alpaca turned out really nice, and it's a really cool concept to have as a test print. And this Prusa Galaxy Black PLA just prints beautifully. It hides layer lines extremely well, and you just run your fingers on this stuff and it is just super smooth. You can barely tell it's 3D printed. Same thing goes for this really cool rocket that they included as well. Now there's a few overhanging areas here and there which I have noticed that this printer does struggle with more severe overhangs, but where it makes up for that is just the overall print quality, because again, layer lines, never heard of her. Like, it's just beautiful. And then quickly going over, of course, they include a little benchy to test the overhangs and stuff like that. Benchy turned out well, whatever. And they also included a file for this neat little keychain that I might put on my keychain if I find a ring for it. But now let's actually talk about some prints that are cosplay related that I threw on there and isn't using the settings that whatever Prusa use on those prints. Starting off with this Tamamo Cross headband from Uma Musume that my friend Otomano Kaiju modeled for me for a commission. This is just using stock settings on the Prusa slicer, and it turned out just as beautiful as the test prints. Like, the headband super smooth, it's flexible, and this Prusa PLA has been holding up extremely well. Like, just look at all that flexing, dude. Like, it's, even though, like, yeah, I did orient it so that way it could survive doing this, but hey, it still works well. It printed the ball here super good. Bottom, yes, it's a little bit rough, but it's really not bad at all. Next up is the ears for the headband. Now, I did forget to mention, but I'll mention it now. This was printed at 0.2 layer height, so it's not even at like some crazy low layer height for super smoothness. Like, this is just coming out super well. And the ear, the only issue, which is my fault, I didn't set my Z seams where I want it, so it did create this straight line in the middle of the ear. No big deal though, I can just sand that down, no problem. And here are the charms that are supposed to be gold color, but I'll paint that at some point. But yeah, the charms turned out super well, and I did print these flat, and even though they're flat, these are like still super freaking smooth, and I'm very happy with how this turned out. Next up, in order to transition from that to a different filament, here we have this beautiful Mark 42 file by Levy 3D that I'm printing a few of just because I want to make a couple different versions of the helmet. This helmet is going to be a clean one I'm going to use for display, and the faceplate is of course using the Prusa Mint again. Just by looking at how well it prints the back details of this faceplate, it's just incredible. Like, this faceplate is basically flawless. And then the rest of the helmet is actually printed in Polymaker's PLA, which this is a really nice pink. It turned out almost just as well as the Prusa mint, so I'm just really impressed. Like, the details inside the helmet itself came out super well. There's just a couple areas here and there where the details didn't quite come out as good, but I kind of chalk that up to how the supports were formed, so that might be on me if I change it up, whatever, but it still looks super freaking nice. And another thing I printed on the pink Polymaker PLA is this test mask for a project that I'm not going to really tell you about because I'm still trying to find another modeler for it. This is just a rough quick print that I made, and it still came out super well, even though this is just like a draft print. And ending off with the pink PLA, I printed one of my most favorite things in the world, these cursed Kirby's. I'm not sure who the modeler is, but these things are just, they're my little demons with human feet. Like, they're beautiful. Tell me he's pretty. I printed these guys at 0.2 layer height and 0.12 layer height. And you could definitely tell which one is 0.12 because that one came out so much nicer than the other one, even though the other one did come out pretty good as well. The only thing is that the overhang on the one hand that did have a support print from it, the printer does struggle a bit with overhangs. And moving on to my favorite filament, which I use for pretty much everything now, Pet G. Here's another faceplate I printed from Levy 3D, and again, back details just came out super nice. Like, this is a freaking Pet G, dude. Like, it's just so good. And again, stock settings mostly. Just change some infills and some support materials, but that's it. And this is just some Sunwoo Pet G I had sitting out for months not doing anything, and I live in a fairly humid climate, so the fact that it came out so well. And here's some more helmet parts using that filament, and here's some more Kirby's using that filament, once again at 0.2 layer height and 0.12. Nearly undiscernible from each other because both of these guys just came out so nicely. And here's a jaw from the Mark 42 using Polymaker's Pet G, which is supposed to be in matte. And you're starting to notice some interesting things, which I'll talk about in a different print where it's much more noticeable. But still, overall, it came out super clean on this filament, and again, 0.2, like nothing crazy. And now comes the one issue I'm having with this printer. So I decided to reprint the cod piece for my Mark 42 because I did break it at C2E2 in Chicago, and I haven't been too worried about it, so I'm just now finally getting around to printing a new cod piece. Now, as you can tell, there's a big discoloration issue on how it went from matte, which it should be, to this glossy color, and it's just like, I don't know what's going on. That happened on the jaw a little bit. That even happened a little bit on the Prusa mint as well, just not nearly as noticeable. And my friend Frank built, well, I think we're friends. I mean, we threw ping pong balls at each other, make fun of each other, so I think we're friends at this point. I messaged him because in his Core 1 video, he did say that he had the same issue and showed that. I messaged him seeing if he figured it out yet or not, and we both have not been able to figure it out. Like, we brought up maybe updating the firmware because they just released a firmware update. I printed two of these guys, one before and one after a firmware update, and you can see it's still there. The only thing I can think of at the moment, which I'll have to tune with, which if you're printing in RAWs, you may have to do this as well, where you might have to tune maybe the cooling or something like that. That's what I'm thinking it might be. But yeah, that's the only printing issue that I've been having with it, which it's kind of disappointing. But other than that one issue, it just works so well. Like, it's out of the box, it just works. But now that I've talked about the print, let's go to past Kira to talk about the spec sheet stuff, how it compares to other printers, stuff like that, and just give my final verdict. Alright, let's see if this is the last time I record this section. Like I said, I've recorded this part many times, and I've decided, you know what? I'm not going to do it how I was going to, because I was going to do it as like mostly like comparing it to competition. Let me keep it short for you. The quick parts of the spec sheet that you only really need to care about is that it's a Core XY, it's fully enclosed, so it has temperature control. The build volume is 250 by 220 by 270, which is about the size of a 100% scale Iron Man helmet from Walsh 3D, using my Mark 42 here as reference. It can connect to internet, so you can wirelessly send prints over from Prusa Slicer, which I'll get more into that in a bit. Out of the box, it can print most materials like PET G, PLA, ABS, ASA, TPU, yada yada. So most materials right out of the box. And finally, it's got your modern feature of bed leveling. And without going too much into it, because I went way too long before, when it comes to just the raw spec sheets, most of the competition at or even below its price point, it just gets outnumbered in every regard when it comes to build volume, like technical features like AI controls, even having a camera most printers have, even like the Centauri Carbon, which is like way less than half the price, and it has a camera included. The Prusa does not. So on paper, this does seem like an inferior printer that doesn't have as much features, which it doesn't have as much features, but that doesn't make it an inferior printer. While yes, I am a bit upset that it doesn't have a bigger build volume than it does, because you could print way more stuff with that, especially when it comes to cosplay. The bed is big enough to get a lot of stuff out, like blade parts, again, like full helmets, and most sized helmets actually, because most helmets are printed in pieces. And the fact that it doesn't have a camera, so you can't record time lapses, you can't monitor your prints unless you buy it for an extra $50. So yeah, it's a bit lacking in that department, but there are some reasons why it costs $1,200 for an assembled unit, as well as $900 for the unassembled version. So first off, it's not made in China like most of the printers. It's made either in the EU, so manufacturing costs do cost more in those countries, but that also means that the quality is exceptional. Like, dude, this printer is actually like made out of steel, which I think is like super cool. Most of the other printers are made with aluminum and just like other stuff, and this just has an amazing build quality to it and just feels premium. And I really like the fact that it's like a super compact design. Like the spool holder is like integrated into the side. Yes, that is probably in sacrifice to the build volume, which sucks. Again, I like bigger print volumes, so it hurts me. But if we're like people that are in small spaces like I am, and I'm kind of running out of room here in this house, and there's not much room in the house. For people who are in those small houses or a small apartment that just don't have many places to put things, this printer will just fit anywhere. And you could even probably like put some of those like rolly feet on it, so that way you can just roll it in and out to change your filament a lot quicker. This will just slide in wherever. So this is a fantastic option if you're just low on space and you don't like want a big spool holder sticking out of the side taking up space. And plus, because it also has another cutout on the side, that creates a lot of room where you can like accessorize it however you want. And it's a Prusa, and from all my torture testing and like getting a bunch of prints off of it, but it is a super reliable printer that will get you like super clean prints off the build plate right away. And for us cosplayers, we mostly use the 3D printer as a tool. Like, a lot of us are not like full 3D printer hobbyists. We might become them. I've certainly haven't become one. But a lot of us just want a printer that will just get prints off the plate, so that way we can make our props. And the Prusa will do exactly that. It's very reliable. I've had the least amount of print failures with the amount of prints I've done as compared to my Neptunes or my K1 Max. Like, this thing has just been incredible. And Prusa even has the guts to use free printed parts in their own printers. So if one of those parts break or whatever, you can either print one yourself if the printer is still functioning at that point, or if you have another printer, or you can just buy them off of Prusa's website, which they have their entire parts list on there, and they're not crappy quality either. Like the printer that I'm using, the Core 1, they literally use that in their own manufacturing, as well as like the Mark IVs and stuff like that. So like, what the consumer is getting is what Prusa actually uses for their production, which is, I don't think any other company does that. And I didn't think I care as much about it because I've never been an ecosystem guy. The Prusa ecosystem has been pretty freaking awesome. It's like, so I'm not a fan of Apple when I say this, but like, I am gonna say it. Apple does have like a very strong ecosystem when you buy their product. So does Prusa. Because I've been using Prusa Slicer for this printer, and I'm liking it genuinely so much more than Orca. Connecting it to the internet was super simple. I just had to tap my phone to the NFC reader on it. So like, even though it does cost a lot more than the competition, it doesn't have as much features as a competition, it still has a lot to offer for that money. But that doesn't change the fact that it could have had so much more. But some of these AI like programs that they use in for like failure detection and stuff like that is really cutting edge, as well as again cameras for monitoring that. And there's also cameras in the printer to also help sense what's going on, so that way the printer can like calibrate itself and like really cool advanced features like that. So in short, it's a reliable printer. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's just super awesome. It's gorgeous, but as awesome as it is, reliable as it is, as quality as it is, unfortunately in some ways it does fall behind the competition when it comes to just spec sheet stuff, the price and what you get for that price, whatever. But the printer still has a lot to offer. And plus it even has upgrade paths too. Like you can upgrade a Mark IV S to a Core 1 instead of buying a brand new $1,300 machine or $950. But the real question is, do I recommend it? Yes and no. I recommend it to cosplayers who want a reliable printer out of the box. They don't have to fiddle with much, and it's just going to produce incredible prints. It's reliable, and for those cosplayers that don't really care too much about the 3D printing thing in general and just want to make props, then this is the printer for you. And I don't just recommend it to cosplayers, I also just recommend it to people who have 3D print farms, so that way they can easily monitor all their printers through the Prusa software, as well as, again, they're extremely reliable, so you can just have your print farm just keep going and just not have to worry about much. And also just people in general who like 3D printing but just don't care too much about the features, whatever. Hey, it's a Prusa. You're gonna get it. It's gonna work. Welcome to the ecosystem. But I don't recommend it to those 3D printing enthusiasts that care about what's latest and greatest, like the AI technology, like the super advanced camera systems, the bigger build volumes. There's a lot this printer does lag behind on, which is very sad, especially at the build volume, which kind of sucks for me too. And I totally get someone not wanting to buy this printer. There's many other cheaper options that have a lot more features on the spec sheet. You're just getting reliability, the name, the manufacturing, and just everything else I've listed before with this printer. Like I said, they may have sent this printer to me, but I want to be fully honest. I'm not just going to say, oh, I recommend it to every single person out there. Now, it's got some things, especially that one printing issue that I think that's the thing that bugs me the most. I hope I can figure that out. If I do a 6-month review, leave a comment if you guys want me to do that. Maybe I'll fix it. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Prusa, for sending me this again. I plan to do more with it in 2026 with some projects I have planned, and I'm super excited. And if you guys want me to review the Core 1L whenever that comes out, please like the video, run the numbers up so that way Prusa can see, hey, that guy's probably worthwhile sending a 1L. That would be cool. So if you guys could help make that happen, that would be greatly appreciated, because I'd love to review that printer for you guys, and I'd love for Prusa to send that out. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you like this video, if you like 3D printing, cosplay, or just me being an absolute goofball sometimes, please subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of stuff that I'm always doing, and I got a lot of stuff in the backlog that I've already uploaded. And check out my other socials if you want more content, like my Instagram. That's all down below. And check out all the stuff to support me, like all my sponsors in the description. And yeah, I want to make this my job, and that would be an absolute dream if we could make that happen. So yeah, that would help directly support me to go towards doing that. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed making it. I'm glad to be back on the grind, and can't wait for what's to come. So yeah, until next time, where I take my Prusa and I 3D print a better life for myself, so that way I don't wake up crying every morning and have to buy a new mirror every day because I keep shattering it because of my looks. And you know what, just go touch grass.